Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. Emily here, as usual, better known as the Meta Fairy, and this episode is brought to you by Meta Aesthetics, premier Ottawa skincare establishment since 1979, where we guide and educate our clients on how to age gracefully, how to be confident in their own skin, and just basically being awesome. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just having fun today. It's so fun to be back in the podcast studio. It feels like I missed this so much. Today, I want to get into technologies. I want to get into IPL today. So, as you guys heard, we got a new machine, a very expensive machine from Candela, Nordlys. We call it Nordy because, some of you may have had treatments already. Some of you may be starting soon, but this machine is actually quite incredible. So we've had IPL for a very long time. We've had skin resurfacing for a very long time, but the time came that we were like, okay, we need to find a new machine that can, have better results, do different things that we don't currently have with the technology that we have now. So today I want to get into IPL. It's called Intense Pulse Light. IPL stands for that. And I'm just going to walk you through who it's for, what it does on the skin, what it targets, the downtime, the interval between treatments, how many you should have, etc. So this is going to be a very technical podcast episode, but who doesn't like technical when you truly are interested in doing things for your skin? So Intense Pulse Light is, honestly, I believe that anyone and everyone should get IPL treatments. If you're looking for skin rejuvenation, if you're looking to brighten your complexion, if you're looking to lower your inflammation and your redness, if you're looking to flush out those dilated capillaries that are just hanging out there on your face all the time, if you're looking to just get that skin rejuvenation, skin refresh effect on the skin, IPL is really for you. You can be 65, 75, you can be as young as 22 to get IPL. That's what I love about it, is that it can target literally any age group. You don't have to be mature to have this kind of treatment because, as we know, we all have these skin issues. Pigmentation is probably the first one that's going to come to the surface. You could have also lingering, we call it post-inflammatory erythema from acne or inflammation that you've had in your skin. You've got those red marks kind of lingering for a long time. Acne also. You can also have just a dull complexion, inflammation, rosacea, broken capillaries, broken vessels. The list goes on. These are all things that we can have at any point, any age. And yes, it is a light device, so you won't be able to get this done if your skin type is darker than a fits, like 5 is borderline. You got to be careful with that. But if you're 5 and up, then you can get IPL done. You just have to be careful with the sun and these things, but I'll get into that later. So IPL targets all those wonderful things. That's why you can get this done literally at any point in your life. It's a really cool, when you think about it, I say this to my clients all the time, because IPL, yes, we'll target color correction mostly. So we're talking about melanin and we're talking about hemoglobin. So this is brown spots, age spots, and circulation. So redness in the skin. I tell this to my clients all the time. What happens is that the IPL is going to burn its target. So we're looking at the reds and the browns. Just to make it easy, reds and the browns are getting burnt. And then what it does is that because it's burnt and dead, the skin actually purges out the injured tissue. So for those of you who are getting IPL done and your lovely complexion will be very, very prickled and very, all the pigments come to the surface like this. And then you look like you have freckles everywhere because it actually burnt out the browns that were lingering at the deep in those skin layers. And then it brings it out. And then they fall off, kind of like coffee grinds. It's a really, really neat treatment. But again, coming back to, yes, it targets the reds and the browns. However, it actually really creates this intense cycle of skin rejuvenation at the same time. So a lot of clients, what they feel after they've done their series, even after a couple of treatments, they're going to feel refreshed. They're going to feel like their skin is I don't want to say tighter because that's indirect effect from getting IPL, but your skin will feel more rejuvenated because you've purged out this old injured tissue. So if you have any of these skin conditions and you're like, I want to get this off of my skin, IPL is for you, legit. And I think I'm going to get into maybe let's get into the pre and post treatment care because it's important. It is a light device, so you have to be careful with the sun. That's just number one thing. If you're going to invest, thousands of dollars into your skin to get these pigments out, to get this circulation under control, to get the rosacea just to stop activating, you have to consider that the sun exposure, if you're someone that likes to be in the sun all the time, you got to stop that stuff because you're not going to spend all that money to get it all back after doing your series, okay? So you got to be careful in the sun. You got to wear your SPF. IPL is not recommended in the summer, early spring, summer, not recommended because it's, UV rays are just so active. And yes, you can wear your sunscreen, you can wear your hat and all the things, but it doesn't make me comfortable as a provider to give you an IPL and then release you in the warm months of July where it's like 30 degrees outside. So not recommended in the summer, but as soon as the fall comes, the winter, very early spring, yes, you can get these treatment done. When you think about it, it is a burn internally in your skin, so it kind of becomes a mirror to the UV rays. And if you do expose your skin to UV rays without protecting it or without being careful, well, your skin could develop more pigmentation, or it could actually create hypopigmentation, which that's the white spots that never come back. You don't want that. You can't do anything for that unless you do like tattoo or you wear foundation, but that's the hardest thing to fix. You can't fix it. So winter treatment, fall winter treatment, super great for that. And the interval usually is 4 to 6 weeks. I like to keep it to 4 just because I feel like I get better results when it's at 4 weeks. And the treatment itself lasts, it's like 20 minutes. It's not long. It feels like an elastic band. It feels hot when we pulse. Afterwards, though, which is amazing with this new technology, you actually don't feel internal inflammation because with this new technology of IPLs, it actually doesn't target water in the skin. So when we look at older IPL technologies, it will just burn everything inside the skin, reds and browns, but also the water in there, it'll heat up that water. We have water in our skin, right? So clients would walk out and they'd have a lot of inflammation, a lot of heat for a couple of days, especially if you're treating redness and rosacea. Settings have to be pretty high. With this one, the IPL is only going to target the reds and the browns. It's not gonna look at the water inside the skin, so it's not going to heat that water inside the skin, which is amazing because it means that the concentration of the light is solely going to go on the target. So it's like mega concentration. We've actually had clients calling and saying, I don't think you did it right. Like, I'm not red, I'm not puffy, I'm not, I don't have erythema, and we're like, yeah, that's the whole point of this IPL is that it's only going to target the browns and the reds without damaging the rest of the tissue. You see how like my eyes light up when I talk about IPL? It's my favorite treatment to perform. I love it. So intervals, 4 weeks ideally, 4 to 6 weeks max. And the treatment itself, not super comfortable, but you can go through it, no problem. I don't recommend using numbing gel because it actually, it does a vasoconstriction. I don't know how to say this in English. It actually, your targets, so in terms of circulation, they actually disappear. So the IPL is not going to be able to target the veins because it shrinks them, if that makes any sense. So I don't recommend doing numbing gel. Actually, don't do IPL on people that numb their face. I just don't believe in it. I think you won't have any results. So no numbing gel. You just have to tough it out. And once you're done your series, 3 to 4 treatments, usually that's pretty much the amount of treatments that you're going to do. 3 to 4 treatments. After that, it's important to talk about maintenance. Maintenance is everything. Maintenance is where the success is. You can get series done, but then if you fall off the earth and you never come back, everything's just going to come back. You got to maintain that stuff, okay? So depending on your case, depending how good you are with the sun, I like to see a patient 6 months after their initial series for one treatment, okay? For one treatment. And again, cases by cases, it can vary. It depends on your skin type, what we're treating, etc. But normally speaking, I want to see you for one treatment 6 months after your initial series. After that, we keep that 6-month mark or we do it once a year. It depends on the client. It depends on their habits. It depends on their sun protection. It depends on how they treat their skin, how they, maintain their skin as well. So those are the guidelines you're going to follow for IPL. And post-treatment, immediate post-treatment, you just got to put your sunscreen, guys. You put your sunscreen on. You can put on, I like to use hydroquinone. No, sorry, not hydroquinone. Hydrocortisone, sorry. Not the same thing. I like to use hydrocortisone a couple days after the IPL just to make sure that inflammation is under control. You can use calming products, things like that. You're not going to exfoliate for 2 weeks because you don't want to scratch off those pigments that come to the surface because it's kind of like having a scab. If you take it off before it's ready, you're actually leaving a microscopic scar, which you don't want. So I put on hydrocortisone after a treatment and then sunscreen and then go. So it's actually quite a good treatment. I love IPL. If I could do IPL all day long, I would because the results are there. It's quick and efficient. It's not too painful, just enough to kind of, make you feel like you've done something. And yeah, the results speak for themselves. They're just amazing. So if you guys want more information on that treatment, you can absolutely check out our website. We absolutely need to do a dermal imaging session before we actually get you to start your treatment. We have to do a patch test. We have to scan you in the Visia because we want to see what's going on inside of your skin, and it's great for us to use for before and afters too. The Visia is our dermal imaging machine where we see 8 different categories inside of your skin. We see the circulation, the pigmentation, the wrinkles, all the things, all the lovely things that you're like, ooh, what's going on in there? And so yes, it does require a dermal imaging session before we begin IPL because, we want to be safe. We want to make sure we're getting into something safe for you. Sometimes we can't perform IPL because you use certain types of medication because, XYZ. So we want to make sure we get that base covered before we get started. So if you guys want to book a dermal imaging session, please do. It's amazing. If you're in the Ottawa area, do it. The link is down below if you guys want to check it out. And I can answer your questions when you come in for your dermal imaging session. All right. So I hope this was enough technicality for you. Again, IPL, great treatment to get into, especially if you're getting into more paramedical treatments and you want to start with something that's going to make you feel refreshed. IPL is awesome. It's effective. It works. Oh, it's so good. If I could get an IPL every day, I would, but you cannot. All right. We'll talk to you guys very soon. Send us a message on our email if you want to have a longer conversation, hello@themetaestetique.com, or you can DM us or comment on one of our posts on Instagram @metaestetique. So we'll talk very soon. And until next time, put on your SPF and make sure to book that consult so we can get started with your skin.